I work with congregations, I work with church teams, and I work with clergy one-on-one. So the beauty of that is that I have the opportunity to work with different levels of a congregational system. So with large congregations, oftentimes I am helping them do some planning and envisioning in a particular way that's highly participatory, very engaging, and doesn't just include the usual suspects in those conversations. So I ask congregations to bring together a cross-section of that congregation that includes young and old, newer members, longer-term members, people in leadership, emerging leaders, and those who don't know what they want to do with the congregation. The end result is to have them together look at the big picture of the congregation and of its history, of its relationship to its surrounding community, and construct together some possible scenarios for their future. For some congregations, they're at a particular point in their life as a congregation where they're asking themselves, what's next? And it's a good place for them. They feel like they've accomplished something, they have some strengths, and they're just building on those strengths and wanting them to take those to the next place. Sometimes congregations feel stuck. They feel like there's potential that they're not living out. They feel like they have a tendency to have the same old conversations again and again with each other, and they need to broaden their perspectives and see some possibilities that they are not seeing. And I have other congregations that are in the throes of conflict with each other. So I work with congregations all along that spectrum. My role oftentimes is to help them compose the next chapter of their work together. One of the things you want to do is just to review, to look at things as they are currently going on, to look at what's there in the text of their life together, in their story, to look at the hard facts, to look at the things that maybe they're not necessarily proud of and other things that they are proud of, and to look at the big picture with just fresh eyes. And then to move to the next part of the writing the next chapter is to then revise. What do we want to do differently as we move forward? What are those things that we want to carry forward that are our strengths? And what are the new things? What are some new things that we want to include in our life together as we move forward? After having considered those possibilities, then I help congregations really recompose that next chapter. And that really brings them to the level of making a commitment. These are the things that we're committing ourselves to. That's where the actual action planning and strategic directions that they choose to move in are actually worked out in terms of implementation. One of the areas I've worked in is in a large group work with the congregation is appreciative inquiry. And there's a real focus there on looking at what are the strengths of the congregation. Oftentimes I've worked with congregations in making the shift from just looking at the problems to looking at what are those things that they know work, and how do they build upon those in order to then design a future for themselves that's built on what they actually know already works best.